Yes, Papa. Hey everyone, this is Marty teambeige, and today I'm bringing you my first place Super Heavy Samurai deck profile. Went undefeated. It was a lot of fun to play. And shout outs to Yugioh Best Locals. Shout outs to Amar for helping me test with letting me test with him for the sprite build. But this has been a lot of fun, and he's given some insight on this. But let's get into it. So pretty standard for the most part. Playing 3 Super Heavy Samurai Prodigy Wakaushi. He's one of the best one-card starters in the deck. Having him as a starter is sometimes better because it plays around Droll, and you're able to search with your Big Ben K rather than search with Bike and get hit with Droll. His discard effect to summon a Super Heavy from deck came up a lot. I play like a decent package of Super Heavy Synchros in the extra deck, and he was just super great. 2 Big Ben K. In the scale, he searches for a Super Heavy Soul if you have a Super Heavy on field, and he's the brick of the deck. One of the better bricks, but you have to play 2, otherwise he can't resolve. There were times where my opponents would break the board, and either if I'd brick with this or they pop the other one, I basically wouldn't have a target for Wakaushi. So maybe play another target, I don't know, but otherwise.
Did you think about playing the regular Benkei?
Maybe.
We should love it.
We should love it. We're gonna love it. 3 Bike. This card is insane. He is the goo. He searches you all your Super Heavy cards. The increased level is not a once per turn, so you can just keep doing like synchro climbs, or 2 of these boost themselves, go into a rank 4. Super awesome. He's great, but he's what loses you to Droll. Like I said, I'd usually try and resolve Soul Piercer or Big Ben K first before Bike, because especially if they either had Gamma or something. 3 Soul Piercer, this card is insane, not once per turn. I ended up using it second effect to deal piercing damage against a defense position monster, which was hilarious. So it was basically Sarutobi control, but this is just how you get all your searches. You just abuse it over and over again.
Is that the best normal summon?
Yeah, he's the best normal summon in the deck. And then the second best, Wagon. He searches you like pretty much everything. You have to do like sort of worser lines when you open him on his own, but he's still really good in my opinion. So that's it for like the standard stuff. This is where it gets kind of like the one-ups. 1 Scales. This card's great. You summon it off Soul Peacemaker to summon a Super Heavy from deck. He's how I was able to extend into level 12 Synchro a lot, or even just basically follow up. I always put him back, so that way on turn 3 I have a way to kill and summon stuff from grave if I don't have Scarecrow. He's also a free extender if your opponent has something. 1 Soul Gaia booster. This card was insane. So the idea is you search him off of Wagon if you need to go into an easy rank 4 and you already have Soul Piercer or Wakaushi or Bike. But so you basically search this, equip to this, summon it, and then you can go into Merrymaker Sargus and then just Zeus like immediately. This card's crazy. I've seen some lists not play it, but I think you absolutely should. 1 Soul Peacemaker. This summons everything from deck. This is how you play around Droll, and also play through Droll. You can just extend through it, but this is usually how you get into Clifford Genius, summoning the Scales.
And also 1 card Baron.
Yeah.
Talk about your favorite card.
One card Baron, using Geargigan. I didn't play Geargigan today though, but that's part of the combo. 1 Stealthy. He's the free extender. If you have to use your normal summon for the Baron combo, he's what you summon to summon the Scarecrow, or basically extend further. He's really good, just a guy. And then for the bricks, like the worser bricks of the deck, we have 1 Infinitrack Tunneler, 1 Ancient Gearbox, and 1 Spell Canceller, and I'll just kind of like put these here. 1 Regulus and 1 Jizukiru. I really didn't like these in general because they just brick a lot, and it's kind of hard to like Spell Canceller is so high reward, but it is very high risk. A lot of things in the format. You think it's really good against Kashtira because they are a high spell deck and they just have to see a special summon. My luck is usually that they do, and so they can out Spell Canceller easily. Box and Tunneler, you want to be able to search them off each other, and Tunneler's your follow-up and recursion, which is really good. So you kind of like make do with it. If you get stuck with the link on field, one of my opponents today, it was a super heavy mirror. He searched this to be able to tribute the link and be able to link climb, since you can't use the link as link material. So this was nice. Jizukuru, great. I kaiju'd a Mathmech player, I think, because I locked myself out of the zone with Scarecrow like an idiot. And then Regulus was great to be able to extend further. He threatens negation. Even just being able to Baron, pop, Soul Piercer equipped onto Regulus and get searches is insane. So that's it for like the main engine. For the hand traps, we're playing 3 Ash Blossom. Pretty explanatory. This was great against Purely, and the theories against Branded as well, but I didn't see any Branded. It's also good in the mirror. Ghost Ogre was an MVP today, being able to just wipe stuff off the field. I used it on a Plump today when it was attaching material, and he just like lost the body and the ability to go into Noir, which is insane. This is really good against the continuous spell, and this is also really good against the mirror. Yesterday when I was playing this, I got Ghost Ogre on my wagon, which like shut me down, which was insane. 3 Droll. This card is insane, this format. Purely is able to play around it by doing everything in the draw phase, but you still want to play it because they'll still do stuff in the main phase, and it's also just really good against the mirror and most other decks. 2 Effect Veiler. 2 ratios are always kind of weird to me as far as non-engine, but it was fine today. It did its thing. And then 2 Nibiru. Didn't want to see it too much, but you know, it is what it is. And then to round out the main deck, we have a Psychic Soldier that rides into battle for S-Force with 3 Gammas. Gamma was really good as a going second option as well. I didn't really use it much to protect my plays on my turn. It was mostly just to break boards. So that's it for the main 40 cards. I'd say pretty standard as far as super heavy goes. For the extra deck, we're playing the Excel Synchron Stardust, Warlord Savage, and Sarutobi as our 8s. So this is part of your main combo to summon back the bike, or you can actually summon Gamma from the grave to go into Baron, which is pretty dope. Borreload, just an extra form of negation. You can either equip the Link or the Clifford Genius, which is really good, and you usually do this after the Pendulum Summon. Sarutobi is an option to summon off of Wakaushi if you have to summon something from the deck and make an 8 to get him to the scale, which came out today. He was really good because against the super heavy player, I just kept him on board because if they attempt to activate a scale, like Big Benkei or Wakaushi, and activate the effect, I can just like, it's basically MST negate, like, is insane. And it's also technically a time card, being able to burn for 500, but he was actually just really good. And then to round out the synchros, playing 1 Baron and 1 of this guy, the level 12. Baron, pretty standard. I personally really like this guy. He's 4,000 defense, generic, which is also good because sometimes I would have Wakaushi, Box, and another level 4, and that would let me make him. Against Crystal Beast today of all decks, they activated a spell when I had an empty hand. After they searched, I went Chainlink 1 Droll, Chainlink 2 this, because they're both if effects, and so long as their effects are met within the chain, you can trigger them both and sort of chain block them. So I was able to pitch the Droll, putting my hand to 1, and then as Chainlink 2, draw 2 cards, and then Droll resolve. So it was like pretty insane. But I might switch this out for the other level 12 that's like less generic. My opponent round 4, who's in the mirror, was playing it, and it's really good. You can basically bounce stuff and he has more defense, and you can OTK against Purely. For the XYZs, we're playing 1 Baguska, 1 Merrymaker, 1 Sargus. These were good. Oh, I also have 1 Zeus, but we'll get to that. Baguska's good against Purely and Branded of all things. This is your Zeus line, but it also searches you Regulus, which is really good if you don't need to search it off of Clifford Genius, but I usually use this for Zeus, and then this was just a guy. Zeus, you need it. You need to wipe the board. In especially with what I was saying about Wagon going into the Merrymaker combo, it's just really good. For the links, we played 2 Scarecrow. This guy's insane. He basically summons stuff from Grave, and he's so good. Sometimes if I got drolled or like hit really hard, I would end on a board of Scarecrow, Soul, and then summon the Soul Piercer to the Link Zone, and then like with 3 hand traps, which was pretty fine because it meant I was getting search on their turn if they clear it. My stuff's in defense, and you can't do damage over this, so I was pretty much protected. 1 Ancient Gear Ballista and 1 Clifford Genius. This searches you Spell Canceller, Jizukiru, and Regulus, and then this searches you the Ancient Gear box. He has another effect to turn an attack to 0 in defense if you pop a spell. Didn't come up today, but it could be relevant. And then 1 Scaldred and 1 Appaloosa. Appaloosa never came up today. I'm probably going to cut this for the Gear Gigant, because most times I was just making Saryusha to summon Spell Canceller or summon something. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So probably just cut the Appaloosa, because I even just ending on like the board where I would end on Scaldred, it was Baron, Borreload, Regulus, Scaldred, Spell Canceller. Like you don't need the Appaloosa. That's it for the extra, and then side deck. Played 4 Bestials. These were great. I was playing 5 yesterday, but honestly 4 was fine. This came up against Mathmech, which is really great, and also against Branded. We do. Mathmech is like my weakest link. We're playing. This is something I tried today because I saw it and I wanted to test it. It never came up. Played 3 Lancia. The idea is that if you fear the Rainbow Magician that much, it is something that you can set and be able to use your monster effect, since this is an entirely monster heavy deck. I'm not like Amar and I don't have 1 double cross that lets me do it. But technically it works against evenly. No one's playing evenly. I don't know. I know somebody's winning evenly. Oh, someone's playing evenly? Okay. Pin me against them.
Moral Tech.
Okay, Moral Attack. But I'll do more testing with this and see if I like it. 3 Retaliating Sea. This is for Branded and for Purely. Absolutely great. Basically, when they activate it, you can special in anything that gets would be sent to the grave is banished instead. One thing I would play is I don't have it in here, 1 Contact Sea to be able to search off of Retaliating, because I realized how insane that is against Purely. They can't do anything unless they go for Donner, or something else generic. 3 Archfiend Eccentric. This card was insane. I love this card. This came up so many times. I popped a Tikaboo, I popped a Crystal Conclave, I threatened a Super Factorial that I then was able to Bestial, which was super insane. I used the monster effect to pop a Nibiru. I used the spell trap effect to pop a Big Benkei in my other scale, so clear my scales to then activate Wakaushi and then do the whole combo. It was hilarious. This card's insane. I love it. And then 2 Kurikara. The idea was basically going second to have something to out either Noir or basically the Mirror Baron. This one out Spell Canceller, but you know, it just gets rid of problems. So for side deck, probably maybe cut the Lancias and play another Kurikara, a Contact Sea, and maybe a Pankratops. So that's it for the profile. Thank you, everyone. Again, shout out to Team Beige, shout out to Curio, best locals. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I hope you all enjoy. Peace.